Yes. Hello everyone, welcome to Youth Power Academy. Uh, Let us begin class of 6 August. The first article is related to Lalit Kala Academy. The Lalit Kala Academy 72nd Foundation Day celebrated in Delhi. It comes under Ministry of Culture, Government of India. On this occasion, two important publications, Chitra Kanu Desai and Kala Guru Ravi Shankar Rawal were formally released. Both books are authorized by Sri Kanhaiya Lal Fakir Chand Patel and published by the Lalit Kala Academy. Lalit Kala Academy, established in 1954, and it has been at the forefront of promoting and nurturing visual arts in India through national and international exhibition, artist camps, workshops, scholarships, publications, research initiatives, and cultural programs. Lalit Kala Academy was set up as an autonomous body and its headquarters is in New Delhi. It is one of India's three national academies, along with Sahitya Academy and Sangeet Natak Academy. Sangeet Natak Academy focusing on performing arts and Sahitya Academy on literature. Uh, Lalit Kala Academy organizes major events such as the National Exhibition of Art and presents national awards and fellowship to the distinguished visual artists. तो ये जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है ललित कला एकेडमी से रिलेटेड इसका एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ये इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा 72nd फाउंडेशन डे सेलिब्रेशन इस बार हुए हैं और जो ये दोनों बुक्स रिलीज हुई हैं इनका भी ऑथर का नेम और बुक का नेम आ सकता है आपके प्रीलिम्स में फिर नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल इज रिलेटेड टू चांदीपुरा वायरस आउटब्रेक इन गुजरात एंड राजस्थान. Central government has deployed a national joint outbreak response team to Gujarat and Rajasthan to bolster the response to the current Chandipura virus disease outbreak. And if we talk about Chandipura disease, it is known to cause neurological disease in humans. Its outbreaks have been reported in India previously with significant impact on child populations. It belongs to Rhabdoviridae family and it is a very diverse family and it includes viruses like rabies virus and it causes potential severity of infections in its members. National Joint Outbreak Team, it is deployed by the central government to assist state responding to disease outbreaks, comprising experts from key health and animal husbandry institutions. Chandipura disease, it is caused by Chandipura virus, which belongs to Rhabdoviridae family, and it primarily affects children under 15 years of age. The primary objective of the ongoing investigation is to fully understand the virus transmission cycle. And before 2026, it outbreaks happened in 2024 in Gujarat. This virus is transmitted by vectors like sandflies and ticks. So since this is a very fatal disease and it affects primarily children of under 15 years of age, this disease is also important. ये भी आपके एग्जामिनेशन के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा और which family it belongs to ये भी आ सकता है तो ये है. Then in Parliament, government informed about the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. It was launched on 22nd of January 2015 as a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Women and Child Development and Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The scheme aims to prevent gender biased sex selection It ensures the survival and protection of girl children and promote their education and empowerment. During the 15th Finance Commission period, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao initiative was included as a component under the Sambal vertical of Mission Shakti. It has been expanded to cover all districts of the country through multi-sectoral intervention. It is a centrally sponsored scheme with the central government providing 100% financial assistance to states and union territories for its implementation. तो बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ कैंपेन भी चलाया जाता है. ये स्कीम काफी इम्पोर्टेंट रही है टू एड्रेस द डिक्लाइनिंग चाइल्ड सेक्स रेशियो. और ये इसके बारे में काफी जो है वो क्वेश्चंस ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं. Or the scheme adopts a multi-sectoral approach that includes community engagement, effective implementation of the Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act 1994, ensuring girls' enrollment and retention in schools, and improving access to sanitation and digital literacy for girls. मतलब कैसे जो गर्ल्स हैं उनको ज्यादा से ज्यादा पढ़ाया जाए, पहले उनको बचाया जाए, फिर पढ़ाया जाए, स्कूल में रिटेंशन किया जाए, उनकी लिटरेसी को बढ़ाया जाए, फिर उनको आगे चल के इकोनॉमी से जोड़ा जाए, उनका एम्पावरमेंट हो, तो इसके लिए ये पूरा जो है वो वर्क हो रहा है. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट मिशन शक्ति, इट कंप्राइजेस ऑफ टू वर्टिकल्स. ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा. फर्स्ट इज संबल which deals with safety and security of women and girl children, and Samarth, which deals with empowerment. तो ये दोनों जो मिशन शक्ति के जो पार्ट्स हैं ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट रहेंगे. और आप चैनल पे हमसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा कनेक्ट होइए, चैनल को लाइक करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करिए. The next information was provided by Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and it said that Ministry of Tribal Affairs through TriFed is implementing two schemes, the Pradhan Mantri Janjatiya Vikas Mission and the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Maha Abhiyan, to strengthen entrepreneurship initiative and facilitate livelihood opportunities for tribal men and women. And it aims to make them more efficient, equitable, and self managed use of natural resources. प्रधानमंत्री जनजाति आदिवासी न्याय महाअभियान या पीएम जनमन स्कीम, it was launched on 15 November 2023, and its basic objective was to provide facilities among particularly vulnerable tribal groups. And as part of PM Janman, Van Dhan Vikas Kendras, they serve as livelihood and skill training centers for PVTGs or particularly vulnerable tribal groups. तो ये information important रहेगा. And if we talk about TriFed, TriFed was established in 1987 and functions as a national level apex cooperative under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It supports tribal community by ensuring fair prices for their forest produce and linking them to national and international markets. Besides these, Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan, Dagjua, it was launched in 2024, and it is notable for adopting a saturation mode approach, which means that it seeks 100% coverage of identified डेवलपमेंटल मार्कर्स रादर देन पार्शियल इम्प्रूवमेंट. मतलब इसमें यह है कि जो पार्शियल इम्प्रूवमेंट ना होके पूरा जो मार्कर्स हैं उनका कवर किया जाए और जो ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज हैं, विलेजेस हैं, उनका डेवलपमेंट किया जाए. और इसके अंदर जो अर्लियर का प्रधानमंत्री आदि आदर्श ग्राम योजना था वो भी इंक्लूड है. एंड दीज टुगेदर brings multiple ministries to address gap in infrastructure, agriculture, healthcare, digital connectivity and livelihood generation in tribal majority villages. तो ये सारी जो ट्राइब से रिलेटेड जो स्कीम्स हैं, they are important for your examination. The next important article is related to Bankers Books Evidence Bill 2026. Uh, this legislation aims to establish a legal framework for evidence related to bankers' book, updating it to align with current digital banking practices. इसका जो कोर पर्पस है वो है कि इसको मॉडर्नाइज किया जाए टू एग्जिस्टिंग लीगल प्रोविजंस टू सूट द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ कंटेम्पररी बैंकिंग सिस्टम. It is a successor to the Bankers Book Evidence Act of 1981. The original act was enacted during the British colonial era in India, long before the advent of computers and digital technologies. Its primary aim was to simplify the process of proving transactions recorded in bank books in legal proceedings by allowing certified copies of entries to be produced as evidence instead of requiring the original books and bank officials to be present in court. ये जो पूरी प्रोसेस था ये काफी क्रूशियल था. इससे जो बैंक्स होते थे उनका जो इनकन्वीनियंस होता था उसको रिड्यूस किया जाता था और इंश्योर किया जाता था कि जो जुडिशियल प्रक्रिया है वो स्मूथली फंक्शन करे. तो अब इसी को चूंकि नाउ जो बैंकिंग सिस्टम है इट हैज चेंज अ लॉट and large amount of data is stored electronically in digital transactions happens and paperless record. So the new law is necessary to legally recognize and validate the digital formats as admissible evidence in court. मतलब अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है किसी से रिलेटेड तो इसको भी अब जो है वो एज अ जो लीगल अगर केस होते हैं तो उसमें एविडेंस के तौर पे इसको लिया जाएगा. तो इसी के लिए ये न्यू जो बिल है ये गवर्नमेंट लेके आई है और लोकसभा में ये पास हो गया है और फर्दर अभी राज्यसभा में पास होने के बाद ये एक्ट बन जाएगा. The next article is related to online film piracy. The government has announced a robust strengthening of its legal and institutional framework to combat online piracy of cinematograph films, particularly addressing unauthorized dissemination through intermediaries like Telegram. गवर्नमेंट ने इन्फॉर्म किया है, मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट हैं फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ब्रॉडकास्टिंग इन a written reply in Lok Sabha that the Cinematograph Act 1952 had changed through Cinematograph Act Amendment Act 2023, and these amendments specifically introduced new provisions which aimed at curbing the unauthorized recording and exhibition of films. The crucial addition is the newly inserted Section 7(1)(b)(2) of the Cinematograph Act, which grants the government the authority under Section 79(3) of the Information Technology Act 2000 to initiate action against intermediaries found to be hosting pirated content. तो अगर कोई इंटरमीडिएट ऐसा पाया जाता है जो कि पायरेसी कर रहा है, कंटेंट को रिलीज कर रहा है, तो उसके अगेंस्ट जो गवर्नमेंट है वो एक्शन लेगी. Furthermore, IT rules 2021 and intermediaries are not mandated to remove any content that violates existing law. तो ये एक important step है जिससे piracy पे गवर्नमेंट अपना एक कंट्रोल कर रही है. The next article is related to Jammu and Kashmir's transformative progress post abrogation of Article 370. जैसे हमें पता है कि on 5th of August in 2019, Article 370 was abolished in Jammu and Kashmir, and after this, Jammu and Kashmir has experienced significant progress across multiple sectors, including infrastructure, connectivity, governance, tourism. The government has informed that since 5 August 2019, it has witnessed rapid growth. Jammu Srinagar National Highway has undergone significant upgrades, including new tunnels, bypasses, and extensive road networks. A pivotal achievement is the completion of Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla rail link, which includes engineering marvels like Chenab and Anji Khad rail bridges, which successfully and is connecting Kashmir Valley with the national railway network. This connectivity has been further strengthened by the introduction of Vande Bharat Express. Additionally, the Z-More tunnel it ensures all-weather access to Sonmarg, while the strategically important Jozila tunnel is nearly completion to provide year-round connectivity on the Srinagar-Leh highway. Beside this, in 2024, tourist arrivals surpassed 2.35 crores with more than 65,000 foreign tourists visiting the region. Despite the setback following the Pahalgam terror attack in 2025, the tourist arrivals have remained remarkably high in the current year. Economically, Jammu Kashmir has attracted substantial investments with official figure indicating approximately 18,000 crore investment in the UT since 2019. तो गवर्नमेंट का ये डेटा है कि जम्मू कश्मीर में आर्टिकल 370 हटने के बाद से काफी सारे चेंजेस हुए हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन्फ्लक्स आया है. देयर हैव बीन 2200 न्यू तो 2200 न्यू इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट्स जो है वो स्टैब्लिश हुई हैं यहाँ पे. और इससे जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट में काफी बूस्ट मिला है. 41,000 government jobs have been created and approximately 9.81 lakh self-employment opportunities have been developed in the region. तो ये काफी मतलब जम्मू एंड कश्मीर से रिलेटेड ये जो आर्टिकल है ये इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा. जैसे 2019 के बाद क्या क्या यहाँ पे चेंजेस आए हैं, जो ब्रिजेस हैं, जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है वो इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा. तो आप चैनल पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा हमसे कनेक्ट होइए, चैनल को लाइक करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करिए. Video you can download from our YouTube description. Their link has been provided in the description. So the next article is related to UP government, and UP government has announced that women aged 60 years and above will receive free travel services on state roadways buses. To facilitate this initiative, a provision of rupees 100 crore has been made in the first supplementary budget for the financial year 26-27. This measure fulfills a promise which was made by the BJP government in its Lok Kalyan Sankalp Patra, which was aimed to provide significant financial relief to millions of senior women across the state. तो यूपी गवर्नमेंट से चूंकि रिलेटेड ये स्कीम है, तो यूपी के एग्जामिनेशन में जो कि जैसा हमें पता है कि प्रीलिम्स होने वाला है दिसंबर में, तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा. Or the government has augmented its commitment to women's welfare by allocating an additional 1,094.40 crore to the Women Welfare Department. Uh, this substantial allocation is indeed to bolster key existing schemes like the Destitute Women Pension Scheme and Mukhyamantri Bal Seva Yojana. ये दोनों जो योजनाएं हैं, these are focused on protection of women and children. तो ये important रहेंगी especially for the UP PCS prelims examination. तो ये आप इसको याद रखिएगा. The next article is related to Indian Statistical Institute Bill. It is also important. The Indian Statistical Institute is going to significant governance overhaul with the tabling of the Indian Statistical Institute Bill 2026 in Parliament. This new legislation it aims to replace the approximately 67-year-old Act of 1959. There are certain provisions within the bill which has sparked considerable debate and protests from ISI faculty members and the members of parliament. The historical roots of Indian Statistical Institute trace back to in 1920 when P.C. Mahalanobis established the Statistical Laboratory in Kolkata. This involved into the Indian Statistical Institute, founded as a learned society on December 17, 1931, and it was formally registered in 1932 under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. It later transitions to registration under the West Bengal Societies Registration Act of 1961. ISI gained a prominence and was declared as an institution of national importance through the Indian Statistical Institute Act in 1959. The new bill, uh, the main objective of the new bill is to align ISI governance structure with that of other institutions of national importance such as IITs and IIMs. Currently, ISI operates under a society model where a large general body holds significant control, necessitating its approval for any amendment to regulation. The government has said that this perspective model hinders reforms, even the minor ones. मतलब गवर्नमेंट का कहना है कि अगर कोई रिफॉर्म गवर्नमेंट करना चाहती है स्टैटिस्टिकल इंस्टीट्यूट में तो वो नहीं कर पाती है और इसको देखते हुए ये न्यू बिल लेके आया गया है which seeks to convert ISI into a statutory body corporate. Thereby, it will strengthen its legal standing and implement a more robust and contemporary governance framework. The proposed structure include a compact board of governors serving as a principal policy making executing body which will be accountable to the government. This board will comprise 11 members chaired by an eminent person which will be nominated by the President of India on the center's recommendation. The government will also nominate its official, including a joint secretary or additional secretary, along with four eminent persons nominated by the chairperson and four representatives from the institute, including टू फ्रॉम द एकेडमिक काउंसिल। तो ये सारे चेंजेस जो है वो इसमें इस बिल के थ्रू जो है वो गवर्नमेंट इसमें लेके आ रही है और अभी इसको पास होना है। और आईएसआई काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा, इंडियन स्टैटिस्टिकल इंस्टीट्यूट। और इसका फाउंडेशन कब हुआ, फादर ऑफ इंडियन स्टैटिस्टिक्स जैसे पीसी महालोनोबिस पे महालैनोबिस पे क्वेश्चंस काफी पूछे जा चुके हैं। साथ ही साथ कब ये नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस का इंस्टीट्यूट बना, करंट गवर्नेंस स्ट्रक्चर क्या है इसका, तो ये सारी चीजें जो है वो एग्जाम के लिए आपके इम्पोर्टेंट रहेंगी। Then next important article is related to Antariksh Venture Capital Fund for Space Tech Startups. Government has informed that Antariksh Venture Capital Fund, which is a SEBI registers Category 1 alternative investment fund, has been established to provide equity capital to emerging space tech startups. Its primary goal is to support the technology development, commercialization, and scaling of operations for these companies. Investments are guided by funds investment objective and investment strategies adhering to SEBI regulations and other relevant fund documents. Government has informed that the fund received SEBI approval on 31st October 2025 and is now operational. And as of July 24, 2026, the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center or INSpace has contributed 182.87 crore to the Antariksh Venture Capital Fund during the financial year of 26-27. This contribution is a part of a larger total of 188.93 crore, which includes investment by the Fund Investment Committee. The contribution made by in space are based on investment requirement communicated by the fund manager as stipulated in the contribution agreement, which amounting to 182.87 crore. तो ये एक इंफॉर्मेशन दिया है। इंडियन स्पेस सेक्टर इसमें काफी it has been experiencing significant growth driven by both government initiatives and private sector participation. InSpace was established in 2020 as a landmark step to liberalize the space sector and allowing the private entities to participate in space activities. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि अभी रिसेंटली हमारा एक सैटेलाइट जो स्काईरूट एरोस्पेस है, ये एक प्राइवेट कंपनी है, एंड on 18 July it has successfully launched Vikram 1, which is India's first privately developed orbital launch vehicle. तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में का भी जो एक इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो काफी बढ़ रहा है स्पेस में, इंडिया में। और अंतरिक्ष वेंचर कैपिटल फंड ये एक स्ट्रेटेजिक फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट है विच इज डिजाइन टू कैटलाइज द प्राइवेट सेक्टर एनवायरमेंट, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर द अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप्स, उनको जो फंड की जरूरत है रिसर्च के लिए, उसके लिए इनको ये फंड प्रोवाइड करता है। और सेबी इसको रेगुलेट करता है। इट प्रोवाइड अ फ्रेमवर्क फॉर सच फंड्स एंड इट इंश्योर्स द इन्वेस्टर प्रोटेक्शन एंड मार्केट इंटीग्रिटी। ये न्यूज भी आपके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा कि ये वेंचर कैपिटल, अंतरिक्ष वेंचर कैपिटल फंड क्या है या इन स्पेस क्या है। The next article is related to Meghalaya launches program for clouded leopard conservation. Uh, Meghalaya has initiated a dedicated program for its state animal. मतलब जो ये clouded leopard है ये मेघालय का state animal है, और इसका जो zoological name है वो है Neofelis nebulosa। और एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव मिशन जो है वो गवर्नमेंट लेके आई है to address multiple facets of the species survival. The initiative will focus on capacity building for frontline staff and fostering community partner participation and public awareness regarding the conservation of clouded leopard. तो मेघालय गवर्नमेंट क्लाउडेड लेपर्ड एक्शन प्लान लेके आई है, तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा। Clouded leopard, it is a medium-sized wild cat. It is native to the forest of mainland Southeast Asia and Himalayas. It is known for its distinct cloud-like markings, and it is an elusive species, making it difficult to study. And uh, in the IUCN list, it is in vulnerable category, and conservation efforts for protecting its forest habitat are going on, and also government is focusing on reducing human wildlife conflict and engaging local communities in conservation initiatives. Then NASA, the US space agency, has confirmed that the second stage of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket impacted the moon surface. This Falcon 9 rocket was originally launched on January 15, 2025, carrying two commercial robotic lunar landers as its payload. Following the successful deployment of its mission payload, the rocket first stage executed a successful return to Earth. However, जो इसका second stage था, it was left in space, drifting until its unplanned collision with the lunar surface. Scientists have observed that this impact generated a crater on the moon, which they have estimated that it is approximately of 20 to 30 meters in diameter. तो ये important है। और Falcon 9, it is a partially reusable two-stage to orbit medium lift launch vehicle designed and manufactured by SpaceX. And since its maiden flight in 2010, it has become one of the most frequently launched rockets globally, and it is supporting numerous commercial and governmental missions, which include resupply missions to the International Space Station and satellite launches. तो ये important है। और lunar exploration, if we talk about lunar exploration, it has seen a resurgence in recent years with both government and agencies like NASA and private companies have their various commercial entities which are aiming for sustained presence and resource utilization of the moon। मतलब मून पे जाके वहां के जो चीजें हैं उनको यूटिलाइज करने के लिए, और बातें हो रही हैं कि मून पे अभी कॉलोनी जो है वो सेट होगा। नेक्स्ट जो हमारा एम है, जो स्पेसएक्स का भी एक वो है, तो इस पे पूरा वर्क कर हो रहा है। इंडिया ने भी लूनर मिशन अपने काफी, चंद्रयान 3 सक्सेसफुली लॉन्च किया, अब और अपने जो नेक्स्ट हैं उन पे फोकस करिए कि हम वहां पे मून पे जो है वो कैसे और ज्यादा से ज्यादा उसके बारे में स्टडी करें, जाने, और आगे चल के हो सकता है कि वहां पे कॉलोनीज सेटअप हो। Then next article is related to Deep Ocean Mission achievement. Government has informed in the Parliament that this mission was launched by the Government of India in 2021. It is a comprehensive initiative focused on six key verticals, which developing sea डीप सी माइनिंग एंड रोबोटिक्स टेक्नोलॉजीज, मतलब ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजीज को डेवलप करना जिससे हम डीप समुद्र, गहरी समुद्र में माइनिंग कर सकें, एस्टैब्लिश कर सकें ओशन क्लाइमेट चेंज एडवाइजरी सर्विसेज, एडवांस एडवांसिंग इनोवेशंस फॉर डीप सी बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्सप्लोरेशन एंड कंजर्वेशन, कंडक्ट कर सके डीप ओशन सर्वे एंड एक्सप्लोरेशन, और जो ओशन एनर्जी है उसको हार्नेस कर सकें फ्रेश वाटर को, और एक क्रिएट कर सके एडवांस मरीन स्टेशन फॉर ओशन बायोलॉजी. So government has informed that significant progress have been made in vertical 1 with the completion of design and system engineering for the Matsya 6000 human submersible, इंक्लूडिंग सबसिस्टम रियलाइजेशन एंड सक्सेसफुल वेट हार्बर ट्रायल्स पे वर्क हो रहा है, और फ्रांस की मदद से ये जो प्रोग्राम है ये चल रहा है. Pilot experience with the French submersible Nautile was gained in August 2025. Additionally, the design for a deep sea nodule collector mining machine is complete, and it was demonstrated in Andaman Sea in 2024. Vertical 3 has seen the development of an ocean module suit for downscaling sea level wave and storm surges. तो मतलब ये इंफॉर्मेशन है कि जो हमारा डीप ओशन मिशन है उस पे क्या-क्या चीजें अभी तक हो चुकी हैं और क्या-क्या चीजें हो रही हैं. और ओशन ऑब्जर्वेशन को एनहांस करने के लिए इंकॉयस हैदराबाद ये 11 ग्लाइडर मिशंस जो है इन्होंने कंडक्ट किए हैं. इसके अलावा डीप सी माइक्रोब्स के स्टडी के लिए वर्क हो रहा है, और न्यू डिस्कवरीज हुई हैं विद मेरीन बायो microbial repository being established. CMLRE Kochi, it has surveyed 31 seamounts documenting 201 deep sea species and 43 potentially new to science, मतलब न्यू स्पीशीज भी इसमें जो है वो खोजा गया है. इसके अलावा जो इंडियन रिजर्स हैं उनका भी एक्सपेडिशन किया जा रहा है, एंड 4 active hydrothermal vent fields and 2 inactive ones, including India's first emerging of an active vent, इनको जो है वो इनकी डिस्कवरी हुई है. तो ये इंफॉर्मेशन गवर्नमेंट ने प्रोवाइड किया है. और ब्लू इकोनॉमी है इस ये इट रिफर्स टू द सस्टेनेबल यूज ऑफ ओशन रिसोर्सेज फॉर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, for improving livelihood and jobs while preserving the health of ocean ecosystem. तो कैसे हम ओशन को ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक्सप्लोर कर सकें, उसको हार्नेस कर सके, जो एनर्जी है इसकी, ओशन की जो लिविंग और नॉन लिविंग रिसोर्सेज हैं उनकी, इसके लिए वर्क हो रहा है. और मत्स्य 6000 ये इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा, ये पूछा जा सकता है पीसीएस के एग्जामिनेशन में या आईएससी में. ये क्या है? ये इंडिया का फ्लैगशिप ह्यूमन सबमर्सिबल है. जैसे हमारा गगनयान है वैसे हमारा ये भी है कि कैसे हम समुद्र की गहराइयों तक भी पूरा रिसर्च कर सके, और जो स्पेस है वहां पे भी हम पूरा अपना रिसर्च जो है वो कर सके. तो ये इस पे गवर्नमेंट ने इंफॉर्मेशन दिया है, और आप चैनल पे हमसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा कनेक्ट होइए. डेली न्यूज रिकैप आपको बताया जाता है, जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स रहते हैं. इसके अलावा जो आर्टिकल्स हैं वो आप उनको डीपली स्टडी करिए. बैकग्राउंड इंफॉर्मेशन, कीवर्ड्स, दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. डेली अगर आप मैगजीन्स को पढ़ेंगे तो आपको बाकी और चीजें पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, और आपको इसका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा. Besides these, our monthly magazines and our Fatafat series are also very important. And kindly connect with us, join our channel, support us in all our social media platforms. So we will meet in our next class.